All right, I'm going to show you guys real quick how to create a new event in our streaming service. So you're going to want to open your browser. I suggest Safari if you're on one of the Macs here at church or a Mac at home. We've tried using this in Chrome, and some of the buttons on the website just don't show up. So this gets a little confusing. The name of our streaming service is churchstreaming.tv, but the website that we go to administer everything is yourstreamlive.com. So I'm going to head there. Now I'm going to go ahead and log in, and the iMacs here have the login information saved on them, I do believe. So you should be able to use this autofill feature just like me. You log in, and now it takes us to our church streaming homepage. And so, like I said, we're going to create a new event. And so you get a button right here, schedule event. There's also one right here in the on the sidebar. Either one works, does the same thing, goes to the same place. And so here's the event creation page, and typically what we're creating is a worship service, and that's the default category. So that's cool, but today we're going to do something a little different. So we have several categories. Some were created by the streaming host, and a couple we created on our own. There's a children's program here if we're doing a Wednesday night live stream for children's. There's a youth program one down here. There's a Wednesday night service one, which we're not doing typically anymore. But if we need those, I mean, we've got all kinds of stuff that's in here. So, but today I'm going to do this little test category because I'm creating an event just for test purposes. And we'll go ahead and call it test July 9th because that's today's date. And then we'll put a little, and that typically I would do Sunday worship or kids club or kids summer hangout or whatever the name of the particular services that we're doing for the title, and then in the description, typically like for our Sunday mornings or for Wednesday night kids and student stuff, the description basically is, we gather every Sunday for worship at 8, 9, and 11:30. 8, 9:30, and 11, or whatever is however relates to the particular event, kids program, whatever. For this one, I'm just going to say, here's a description. How about that? And just below that, our time zone is set. You don't need to worry about that. Start date and time, I'm just going to pick one. Typically, you know what the service start times are. We set the event to start at, if it's Sunday morning, 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock, 9:30 to 10:30, 11 to 12. And if you start streaming from our service and there's an event scheduled within 5 minutes of you actually clicking the start button, the streaming service assumes that you're streaming that event. So I'm going to pick this coming Sunday, July 12th, and I'm going to set it to start at 7 a.m. Just because I want it to be the first one in my list, because it'll be easier for me to get to. You can also, if you needed to have something broadcast at like 7:26 a.m., you could actually enter actual event minutes, exact minutes in here. But you get groupings of 5 minutes here that you can select from. So I've selected my start time and date, and I just click that select date and time button, and now it automatically creates your event here with an hour and a half duration, but I'm just going to, typically we don't do any that long, so I'm just going to set it for 8. We want to leave the delete expire after set to 3 months. That's how long it stays in our archive online. Next is the broadcast section. Typically Sunday morning 8 and 9:30, those will be live, and we leave this recording set on broadcast, which means that the recording starts when we click the start streaming button and it ends when we click the end streaming button. And typically that's how we want it. The other options are you can have it begin and end at the event start and end time, which for an automated event like I'm about to do, that would be okay, but for a live event, you may not start and end at exactly the event start and end time. So we typically just leave everything on broadcast. So typically we're going to do a live one, but we're going to pretend we're setting up for the 11 o'clock service, which we do as an automated event. So Here, instead of live, we will select automated. You see that gives us some different options. We want to leave recording on none because this is an automated event, which means we're either uploading a recorded video or we're using a video that's already on the site in our archive. So it doesn't need to be recorded, it's already recorded. For now, I'm going to leave the video section blank because I'm going to do another video that shows you how to upload and add a video to an automated event. But if you needed to, I mean, I could just go here and select this video. And that means that when it's time for the event to roll, it would play this particular video, which I think is, I guess that's last Sunday's 9:30 service. So there you go. But we're going to leave it blank for now because I want to be able to do that later. We want to leave these alone. Now, under Facebook Live, you shouldn't have to change anything unless for some reason you don't want to broadcast to Facebook, but you want to leave this exactly the way it is, and the defaults are set to be exactly this. So don't change anything, let it archive on Facebook. We want to do all that. Same goes here under Archives Video on Demand, unless for some reason we don't want it embedded on the website. We leave this exactly as it is. We do not want it to be a private event. We're not worrying about Vimeo. If you were setting up for the 11 o'clock service, for example, right now we have several months worth of those already set in the system. But if you were creating a new one for 11 o'clock and you wanted to do the same thing, you could just tell it to repeat every week for 3 months, 6 months, a year, whatever you want to do there. And it would just go ahead and create events every Sunday at 11 o'clock or whatever time you were setting it for at exactly that time every week for that period of time. Miscellaneous, we want to leave the web countdown on because what that means is there's a countdown on our website that counts down to the next upcoming event, and we want this to be on that countdown typically, unless for some reason you didn't want it to, which I don't today. But so I will select no, but typically we're going to leave it on yes. What happens if you select no is the countdown will keep counting down to whatever comes up next after this one. Right? I don't want this one to go in the countdown because it's a test, it's private. We're not really worried about it, but I'm not going to set it to private. All right, so you've done all that. Click schedule event, and you can see there it is right there. And it says attention, no automated video selected right here. We'll deal with that in another video.